Welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching. No sponsors for products used or mentioned. Preheat oven to 350. I already washed the asparagus. Now I'm going to show you how to get the woody pieces off. You really can't cut them. You just have to snap them. Wherever they snap, that's the woody piece over here. I'll do that to all of them, and I will be right back. After I snap the woody part off, if you actually want to make it even so it looks better, just cut a little bit more off to make it even. So the bottoms look nice and neat. That's all you got to do. I already did one packet, but I'm showing you what I did because I'm making 2 packets. Now, here's a garlic. And I showed you this before, but I'll show you again. You just smush it down to get the skin off. And it should come off easy. It did. Now, got the garlic press. I'll put it in there. But before I actually press it, I'm going to be doing the foil packet. Now I'm going to measure the foil for it. You pick up a nice big piece of foil. And I put the shiny side out. And then I'll put the asparagus in the center. And now I'll open up my butter. It's a big butter day. I like butter. So, yes, I'm going to do enough butter on my turkey that'll clog your arteries, along with chicken stock. So, I do like half a stick of butter. And I like Kerrygold butter. That's the one I like using. But you can use any butter that you like. I'll do about a half a stick. That's about a half a stick. That should be good. And now, I'm going to do the garlic on top of it. So we run the garlic through the press. Just kind of try to space it out a little bit so it's all over the asparagus. That way it's has garlic flavor. And with the butter, it'll be good. And since we got garlic there, we got garlic there. Now I'll get the pink Himalayan salt, which is right over on my table. Just sprinkle a little bit. I'm not putting any pepper on it, although if you like pepper, you can. Now I'll show you how to wrap. Now you want it perfectly sealed. It will only take maybe 20 to 30 minutes to do these. So I just have them ready to bake it the last half hour, along with the turkey. And you want to make sure it's perfectly sealed. That way it don't leak the butter. And you're going to be turning this over in the cooking process. That's a foil packet. So I got 2 foil packets. Here's my other one that I did earlier. So I got 2 of them. So that's ready. Now I'll be doing the roast potatoes. I love roast potatoes. This is the first time I did roast potatoes with turkey. I normally do stuffing and mashed potatoes and gravy. But I'm doing the gravy to put over the turkey. And I'll show you how to do the gravy too. The potatoes, I did a lot of them, but I'm showing you how I do them. I peeled some potatoes earlier. I'm just showing you how to peel them. Now, some people it's good with a knife. They are very skilled with a knife. They can do this really quick with a knife. My mom did it excellent. She could actually get the potatoes with one slice. Basically, she did the skin was one piece. She was that good. She always yelled at me about wasting the potato because I took too much of the meat off. I call it meat. Too much of the potato off when I peeled them. So, that way, if I do it this way, I'm not as bad. Now, I'll show you how to chop them. I got it in a bowl of water. Let me get this out of my way because it's going straight in the garbage. I showed you how to do it before when I did roast potatoes. But I like roast potatoes, so I'm doing it again. See, you just cut it up into pieces like that. And I'll put these in here. And I got a couple more potatoes to chop up. Then I'll be ready to put them in the pan. And I'll show you how to make the broth that goes over the potatoes. I'm going to add a cup of water to it with the garlic with Better Than Bouillon chicken base. So first thing I'll do is I'll move it over here in my pan so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just adding the clove of garlic to it. Now I gotta get my water measured. Measure the cup of water. It's gonna go in with the garlic. Now, this is minced onion. Basically, I'm almost doing like onion soup mix packet, but I'm doing it myself. Minced onion. And I don't measure it, I just dump it in. And now I get a tablespoon of the Better Than Bouillon. To get my jar open. It's a teaspoon actually. And I will be dissolving this on the stove and getting it nice and blended. Then I'll put it over the potatoes. Yes, I got them in the water to prevent them from discoloring. So once I have this done, I will drain the potatoes, dump them in the pan, then dump this on top of it. So before that, I'm actually going to heat it up a little bit to make sure the Better Than Bouillon is dissolved. I'll take you over to the stove now. Now all I'm going to be doing is turning on the burner and just heating it up to make sure it's dissolved, because I want it nice and dissolved. You don't have to bring it to the boil, but you do have to dissolve it. I'm going to add another half cup because I want enough of the juices to coat the potatoes. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the Better Than Bouillon. Not even a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon more. I let that go. We have garlic in there. And we have the minced onion. So I'll let it go now. Since I like garlic, I'm going to add some garlic powder to it, which I never mentioned at the start of the video. But yes, you just dump some in, because I want to make sure I have enough of this made so I can actually coat the potatoes and have some extra for the gravy. So that's done now. So now I'll be draining the potatoes and putting the potatoes in and mixing it with that. There we go. Now I got it all nice and coated. Now I'm adding the potatoes to the pan. The next thing we'll be doing is prepping the turkey. And you can stir them up again to make sure you get the coating on them. See, it don't look like there's that much water. I want to make sure there's enough liquids in the bottom of the pan. I always call it water. My mom always used water. I use chicken stock. Now, I'll prep the turkey. I added a stick of butter to the pan. I'm going to melt it. This is not going to be the only stick of butter that I use. It will be the first of its stick I use. So I'm going to melt that. And then I'll be back after it melted. Now I'm seasoning it with Famous Dave's Steak and Burger seasoning. I just sprinkle it all over. And then turn it over, because I want to make sure I get the spices on all the sides. And I rub it in. I wash my hands afterwards. Get it all over. I'll turn off my butter. to just sprinkle it on this side too. And that side. I even do in here. I don't want to miss anything. And then I'll be putting it into the pan, which is on the stove. So I'll be putting it over here now on top of the potatoes. It's going to fall over. I know it is. And then I'll just pour my butter on top of it. And yes, I do baste it like every half hour. It will look like a magazine cover when I get done. So, now, I'll wash my hands and I'll be back. Now I'll sprinkle the potatoes a little bit with the famous state. Not too much, because we don't want them too salty. Just a little bit on there, because we want them to have flavor too. Like I said, I basted a lot. So now I uncover it. Uncover it. It's starting to cook. Now I'll baste it. I'll move that out of the way. I like that for my spoon rest. And now I'll baste it. I use a lot of butter when I baste it. A lot of butter. That's how it gets so nice looking. And yes, I'm going to do the other side too. So I'll just flip it over. Let me get this up here. Flip over. There we go. Now I'll get some more butter. I use a whole stick. Trust me on that. And since the spices came off this side, I'll put a little bit more on before I put it back in the oven. I know it looks like a lot of juices in there. Next time I baste it, I'll do it with the juices. But now I'll just put a little bit more spices on that side since it kind of came off. Just a little bit more. And then I'll plop it back down again. There we go. And I'll put it in without the cover this time. That way we're going to start getting it browned. It's been only a half hour. So now it goes back in. Back in. There we go. I got my pan. I don't have a turkey baster, so I got to do it the old-fashioned way. Spoonful by spoonful. And what we're going to do with this broth is we're going to actually put it into our gravy and make gravy out of it. So I'll keep doing this until I get enough out, and I'll be back to show you how much. You just want to light layer it in the bottom of the pan. Now I'll put it back in the oven. So I'm going to be checking the temperature of the turkey to see, because we still got to cook the asparagus, and that takes a half an hour. So I'll put this in to see where the temperature lies. And I'll put it back in to see, because I know it's not done. I'm just making sure. This is going to be the gravy. I'm going to add that to that and add a couple spoonfuls of that just before I heat it up. And I put that in there. And I'm going to rinse it with a little water. Not much. A little bit, because it's really thick. Put the lid on. Shake it, because I want to get all that out of there. There we go. And now, we're going to take the pan drippings and add 2 of those. Spoonful. And mix that up. And then when the turkey and asparagus gets done, then we'll heat this up. Yeah, that's easy gravy. Now we're going to bake the asparagus for 20 minutes at 400 because I like mine tender, real tender. So the turkey's going to go back in for the final browning too. So we're going to do both at the same time. And halfway through the cooking time for the asparagus, I'm going to flip it over. That way it's evenly done. So back in 400 this time. I'm back to check on the asparagus. I'm going to flip it over. Flipping it over. Come on. Get it over here. I want to flip you over. And yes, I put a foil down there just in case it leaks. It shouldn't leak, but sometimes they do. Now I'll get the turkey out because I'm pretty sure the turkey will be done. And you put that over here for a minute because I need those 2 burners for the turkey. Okay, that's for the turkey. Let me get out the asparagus. I'll just let them sit a while. Let them sit a while. There we go. I'll let the turkey sit so it can be easier to cut. And I'll cut it and plate it. But in the meantime, I'll heat up the gravy. So I'll put the asparagus. Let me scoot you up a little bit. There we go. Put the asparagus over here. And I'll heat up the gravy. Let me get my spoon. This is what it looks like done. Please, if you have any suggestions, make it in a comment below. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you.